So what we're going to look at today is the biggest reason that I see for people saying that they don't do their warm-ups. I'm not the warm-up police. Warming up is not all about injury prevention. Drill it into yourself, it's about performance. What we are doing is getting our body and our mind ready to climb hard and to climb well. So we're going to take a look at how you can do that when you get to the wall and all your mates just want to crack on climbing and don't want to actually warm up. So we'll look at, you get to the wall, you may be a bit late, all your friends are already climbing, or the classic, they don't want to hang around for 15 minutes while you're doing some off the wall warming up. I would suggest that you do have a conversation with them about an off-the-wall warm-up. It is the most efficient way to get to the level that you need to be at to go and have a good hard climbing session and to improve yourself as a climber. But what we're looking at here is the real world that hasn't happened for whatever reason, and you need to make sure that you're warmed up and ready to get going and to climb hard. Number one thing is to have a bit of intent about your session. Have a plan for what you're wanting to work at. That is usually, it might be steep bouldering, slab skills, you might be doing routes, overhanging steep routes. They all need a slightly different approach. You don't do the same warm-up for every single session that you're going to do. You tailor it to what you're about to do. If you're not going to come across tiny matchstick edges, there's no point warming up tiny matchstick edges. So have a focus on what you're going to do in the session, and then we need to structure your warm-up around that. We're going to start easy, finish hard, same as any other warm-up, but we're going to be able to do it whilst you're climbing with your friends, either on routes or on boulders that we're going to select that fit what you want to do. The main rule for this part is that the first time you try hard at something shouldn't be when you're performing. So if it is small edges, the first time you grab hold and pull as hard as you can on a small edge should not be on your project boulder. It should have been already pre-recruited. So we're going to look at how we start easy, finish hard, and also how we work on our coordination and technique as well while we go through it, using some basic drills that you can adapt for the situation that you're in. So we've got Fife here with us today, and we're going to run through these drills, which Fife is going to demonstrate for us. First off, we're going to start with what sounds like quite an advanced drill, which is moving both hands at the same time. But we're going to bring it down to whatever level is appropriate for us. This is the start of a warm-up. So we're going to use these black and white holds maybe for hands, use whatever we want for feet is fine. And the idea of this is that I would like you to sink down onto straight arms and to focus on driving up from the feet, bring hips into the wall, and that gives you loads of time to let go and take hold of the next holds. So down, in with the hips, lovely, nice. And you're getting this right when you feel like you've got time to take the holds and that you're not falling away from the wall. So we're warming up, hand-eye coordination, production of power from the legs and really drilling that in. So we're starting to focus on legs as technique, and also then force absorption as we grab a hold and put the brakes on. We're also going to use it to start looking into how we get off problems, climb down to where we're happy, and jump off in control. Yeah, that is another aspect that each time we step up, each time we do a problem in our warm-up, we might go a little higher, start increasing the challenge of the landings as well. We're going to raise the level a little now, and that's going to be the principle throughout this. This, I think, is a very low effort, low time intensity kind of a way of getting some technique drills into your climbing warm-up as well, which is a really, really nice place to put them. We're going to look this time at moving both feet at the same time. So we go up with our hands, sink down, and then jump both feet. Fife's going to demonstrate and also potentially show. Again, this is individualized. You don't have to follow the holds that are set. You can use whatever feels comfortable for you. And so we're learning here to really jump from the feet. So we're getting quite dynamic with the legs, but we're also learning about where our body wants to be to take off and land in climbing moves. Next level of challenge that we're going to look at is just moving one foot and only using one foot. Tend to need to go a little bit steeper for this, so just a gentle overhang. And again, we're going to be looking at not pulling with the arms. The drive for this should come from the one leg that we're using, and we should be able to feel the balance point of where we take off, feel where we want to be with the selection of holds that we've got. You'd start to learn an awful lot around where we generate our movement from and where we absorb it when we land in a nice, efficient way. That looked lovely, nice. So remember, through all this, we're making the challenge correct for you. You may be doing this on steeper ground, slabs, smaller holds, bigger holds, depending on what you're aiming to do in your session that day, and also dependent on level. Last one we're going to look at here is single-handed climbing. So Fyfe's going to demonstrate now as she sets off, just using one hand. You'd obviously have to repeat this twice, do it once with the left hand, do it with the right hand, and just really learning an awful lot about where your body wants to be, balance points, that type of thing, but also obviously increasing the amount of effort that we're doing with the upper body and the force that we're producing and absorbing with the arm. These are just a few ideas, yeah? They're games, they're challenges, they're fun. That's what most of us climb for. So bringing this in before you start getting on the harder climbs is a really, really nice way of ramping things up. We'll take a look now at what we want to do if we want to get on some maybe steeper holds and smaller holds. So we're just going to look now, we're going to have a steep bouldering session. So what do we do about really getting prepared for that? One of the things for me is stepping away from I must flash everything. Coming into the area and just starting at the lowest grade and working your way up through. We can still have fun, we can still achieve, and we can still practice and learn very easily as we warm up. So we're just going to get Fyfe here to go from this right hand hold, and she's aiming to land this left hand hold. Bearing in mind that previously we've just been basically slab climbing and a bit of vert, that kind of thing. This is jumping off the floor, making sure we're getting a lovely smooth timing to it. We're landing well, we're landing in control, we're not going to tweak anything, and we just drill that movement in. So we're really getting that hand-eye coordination, that shoulder activation of holding and controlling, and we can go from that to actually hit that hold and then add an extra challenge in of touching another hold with a foot. So hold, that's it, and then find a foot that you want to touch. Fantastic. Those challenges can be brought in. It might be a heel hook, a heel toe bicycle, you know, anything like that that you might be wanting to work on technique-wise. Now that's obviously just one move done in one direction. We then need to kind of reverse that so that your left hand is your taking off hand and your right hand is the catching hand. Brilliant. I'm really working on building that coordination and confidence, yeah, and fluidity of movement is really important. So we want to make this specific to what you're doing that day. That's why you need to have a bit of a goal and a target about what you're doing. It's not going to take all the fun out of your climbing session, but it will make you a much better climber if you just have these small focus in a session. So if you're going to do this on a board, then jump and catch to some board holds. If you're going to be doing this on routes and going to have a hard route session, get on this sort of terrain that you're going to get on, bolt to bolt something, take some practice falls. Falling is important to practice in route climbing as well. And the one thing I would say though is if we change during a session, you need to really be aware of that. If you suddenly come across a problem at your project level that's got pockets on it, for example, and you haven't been pulling on pockets, there isn't a pocket really in this whole section, so like a 2-finger pocket, you are not warmed up for pockets. If you haven't pulled as hard as you can on a heel hook, don't do that on your project. Go away and have a minute or two of just warming up and pulling and making sure that those things are warmed up properly. They're the two biggest injuries I see that really truly do happen because people are not warmed up well. So we're filming today at Kendall Wall, part of the Lakeland Climbing Centres group. Big thanks to them for letting us here. It's really, really fantastic facility, both here and in Lancaster and in Preston that they've got. Thanks as well to Fife. As you could see from today, this is the first time Fife's done these kind of drills. They are tricky. This is the whole point of it, is that it's going to make you a better climber. Don't just come in, not warm up, crack on with your mates and not be thoughtful about what you're doing. A little bit of thought. Your sessions can still be loads of fun, but just a little bit of thought can just make you a much better climber.